I love the 4th of July. I enjoy picnics and fireworks and long summer days. And I get excited with the thought that millions of our people all across our great country will, on this 4th of July weekend, join together in thinking about freedom and the men and women who sacrificed to make it our inheritance. It's easy to forget just what a revolution these Americans made. It's easy to forget how they amazed the world and how many hopes they raised. President George Washington, in the very first inaugural address, warned Americans that they had a new responsibility. He said, "The preservation of the sacred fire of liberty and the destiny of the Republican model of government are justly considered, perhaps as deeply as finally, staked on the experiment entrusted to the hands of the American people."
Hi, I'm Melissa, and welcome to this month's Live From at the Reagan Library. Remember, we do these on the first Wednesday of every month. Yesterday was the 4th of July, our nation's 247th birthday. As such, we're going to spend today's Live From talking about the 4th of July and using some of President Reagan's speech excerpts to get at the importance of the day. So, of course, July 4th actually dates back to July 2nd, 1776, when the Continental Congress voted for independence from Great Britain. And then, just 2 days later, on July 4th, 1776, delegates from all 13 colonies voted to adopt the Declaration of Independence, the historic document drafted by Thomas Jefferson. Now, President Reagan loved the 4th of July and all that it stood for: freedom, democracy, and opportunity for all. Speaking about the day in 1982, he said,
"My fellow Americans, 206 years ago, one of history's greatest adventures began when a small band of patriots in Philadelphia resolved to stake their all, their lives, their fortunes, and their sacred honor for freedom and independence. On that distant day, America was born. Our country has been an inspiration for free men and women around the world ever since."
Now, here at the Reagan Library, we do hold an annual event on the 4th of July every year. So on the 4th, we do all types of family fun entertainment, from live patriotic musical concerts to face painting, arts and crafts and activities, picnic and carnival games, presidential lookalikes, and more. All 4th of July events here at the Reagan Library are always free to attend. It only costs if you want to go into the Reagan Museum, Air Force One Pavilion, or to see whatever special exhibition that we have. Now, yesterday was a little bit different. We did something new here that we've never done on the 4th of July. We actually unveiled a statue of Sally Ride. Now, Sally Ride was the first female American astronaut to go into space, and her first flight was during President Reagan's administration. It was just 40 years ago on June 18th, 1983. And so to mark that 40th anniversary, to mark space exploration, to mark women's equality and all the things that Sally Ride stood for, we did unveil this statue here at the Reagan Library, and visitors who come up here now can see this as part of their experience. Now, for President Reagan, the 4th of July, though, was about more than just celebrations and fireworks. He wanted to make sure that people understood the enduring values of America. As I said before, freedom and democracy and opportunity for all. Speaking about the day in 1986, which was the 100th anniversary of receiving the Statue of Liberty, President Reagan remarked,
"America will keep her flame alive, and it will become a stream of light that shall pierce the darkness of man's oppression until liberty enlightens the world." After the events of these last few days, you just have to believe that her flame burns even brighter, a comfort, hope, and inspiration to all those the world over who still suffer oppression. In the beautiful words of the poem inscribed on the statue's base, all those still yearning to breathe free.
And speaking about the day in 1983, President Reagan said,
"Now, you may not think of yourself or our democracy as an experiment, but look around. All over the world, millions and millions of people still live under tyranny. Their leaders claim that they're the wave of the future, that history is on their side, and yet their people look to us for hope. Their people look to America as the cradle of freedom, the place where the great civilized ideas of individual liberty, representative government, and the rule of law under God are realities. Yes, these people see America as the experiment that works, and democracy works because of the physical and moral courage of individuals."
Now, our forefathers, they sacrificed their lives, their honor, and their fortune to create America. Speaking about our founding fathers and our country, President Reagan once said,
They were brave. They stayed brave through all the bloodshed of the coming years. Their courage created a nation built on a universal claim to human dignity, on the proposition that every man, woman, and child had a right to a future of freedom. For just a moment, let us listen to the words again. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
As you can hear through his words, President Reagan really understood that our country was founded and the freedom and prosperity we have, it was all hard-earned. And he wanted to make sure that we celebrated that and remembered that. So let's make sure we honor President Reagan's legacy and all of our forefathers' legacies by really reflecting on the day and remembering what it really stands for: freedom, democracy, and freedom and opportunity for all. So as you know, every 4th of July, that's actually not right. We'll say that again. As you know, each of our live Froms, we do bring to you some items from our store that reflect on the day. So we're going to bring some items out that reflect the Sally Ride statue, that reflect the 4th of July. Every item that we share with you can be found on our website at reaganlibrary.com/store. And all you have to do is scroll down just a little bit. And when you do that, you'll find the featured products section. And everything that we talk about today can be found in that section. First, let's go to a speech from Ronald Reagan.
Freedom is the key. Freedom is what allowed individuals to make America great. Between the 2nd and 4th of July, some 27,000 new Americans were sworn in across this country. Many of you saw the televised ceremony on Ellis Island. In these events, America makes a solemn bond with its new citizens and renews the promise to all that here is a refuge from oppression. Here is a place where freedom and opportunity reign.
So as I said, everything can be found on reaganlibrary.com/store, plus so much more. But the first thing I want to highlight is just a really great buy. It doesn't matter if it's the 4th of July. This is a great purchase year-round. This is a pocket-sized United States Constitution. Fits in your purse, fits in your wallet, fits in your back pocket, fits in your backpack. In fact, about 15 years ago or so, we actually held an event here with Supreme Court Justice Sandra Day O'Connor. And during the event, she dug into her purse and pulled one of these out to show the audience, which were mainly students, that it's something she carries at all times. So this is just a great purchase to have. Again, reaganlibrary.com/store. We have a wide variety of patriotic items, which will be the next thing I show you, which is this. This great book, Oliver Doodle Dandy. It's a really great children's book with amazing illustrations about a brother and a sister named Henry and Holly who go into the attic to pull out some 4th of July decorations and end up being spoken to by one of their toys named Oliver, who gives them the meaning of the 4th of July. So that's a really fun children's book. Again, reaganlibrary.com/store. But we thought it would be fun to share with you some of the items that we're also carrying about Sally Ride, since we did just unveil that statue. The first is a nice, small, maybe coffee table book that's the story of her life. But in addition to being the story of her life, it is filled with amazing photographs from her life, from high school up until her time as an astronaut, different documents from her life. It's just a really great way to learn about her and also just to see some great things, some letters. So this is a really great addition to your book collection. But something fun to add for the child in your life is we are selling a color and play doll. So this is the way the product comes. The doll comes white, I guess, with a handful of pens. And then your child or you can color the doll any way you want. It's a female astronaut. It's our Sally Ride. Comes with a detachable backpack. You can color it any way you want. And then you can wash it. And all the ink comes off. It comes back to being just the regular plain doll. So you can color it time and time and time again. So just a really fun thing you can purchase for the child in your life or even for you. So again, reaganlibrary.com/store. Scroll down to our featured product section, and everything that you see here right now is in that section. And of course, you can shop on that page for anything that we sell in our store as well. So we want to thank you for joining us. We know you have so many choices out there, and we always do appreciate you do choose us. I know I'm a day late, but happy 4th of July, and we'll see you all next time.
My fellow Americans, it falls to us to keep faith with them and all the great Americans of our past. Believe me, if there's one impression I carry with me after the privilege of holding for 5.5 years the office held by Adams, Jefferson, and Lincoln, it is this: that the things that unite us, America's past of which we're so proud, our hopes and aspirations for the future of the world and this much-loved country, these things far outweigh what little divides us.